Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. And my co-host on the radio version is here tonight,
Right,
Jeannie Hebert.
right.
And
Hi.
we're going to talk about what's coming up. You got the annual meeting
Annual
of the
meeting.
Blackstone Valley
Yeah.
Chamber.
Yeah, our 41st annual meeting is happening.
41st.
41st, yeah.
41 years now?
Yeah, 41 years.
Where'd the
Yeah.
time go?
Oh, I don't know.
That's unbelievable.
It's on Tuesday, November 26th, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we have a powerhouse of guests coming.
Yes.
It's amazing. And it's people who come every year realize it's a week later. And it's a week later because all these people are flying in from all over the country.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about it. And I know, Harry, you remember, but 5 years ago we had a gathering with many of these people and others. And we put together a 5-year plan for the Chamber and for the Valley.
Yeah.
We brought in some of our members, manufacturers, because Blackstone Valley is the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution.
And it's becoming a high manufacturing area.
It is. It really is. And we're working hard on that. And actually, we had Ranger Chuck at that time with the Heritage Corridor.
Yeah.
And he led a lot of workshops with some of these manufacturers and also with companies surrounding the valley and talking about manufacturing and the misconception of the dank, dirty, dangerous manufacturing.
That's what it was.
It was. It was not a career that you really wanted your child to go into. It was not a career path that you wanted.
But,
And
you know,
now it's completely 180.
I know.
It's people. Most people in manufacturing are wearing white coats. They look like doctors. You could eat off the
You don't
floor.
even get your hands dirty.
No, and you using this.
Yes.
You know, not as much as this.
Yep.
And you're making good money. Really
Yeah.
good money.
Brightly lit,
Yeah.
clean. I mean, a total different
Great
environment.
benefits.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a totally different mindset now. So part of what we talked about was changing the mindset, and I think we're well on the path of that. And also, we listened to what many of the manufacturers said, that they needed a workforce.
Yes.
There was a lack of a workforce, and we delved into it. And we, as I talked about on other shows here, we found that the whole covenant of the vocational school system changed, it's terrific, but it's different. Vocational schools were originally created to create a workforce.
Right.
And it was for those students that wanted to go from high school right into the workforce.
Yes.
And now 95% of the students that go to BV
No.
Tech go to college.
Yeah.
And it's an elite private school, really. And that's great. I'm not criticizing. I think it's wonderful what they're doing.
Well, there's such demand
Yeah,
that they had to set a criteria to get in
yeah, yeah.
so that they could, but it went the wrong way. Before, it was the kids that weren't doing well academically that
Right.
get in. Now, you gotta be superior academically
Right,
to
yeah.
get in.
And the vocationally superior students don't have an outlet. They're going into the public school system, which a big mistake was made years ago. They eliminated all of the workshops
Yes.
and vocational studies in the public schools and pumped everything into the
Well,
vocational schools.
The
Yeah.
techs are taking care of it, we're not gonna
Right.
have to do it anymore.
Exactly. And now we have to go back. Sometimes you have to
Yeah.
go backwards to go forwards.
Yes.
So we're going to be revisiting some of what we found, what we're doing to solve many of these challenges that
Mm-hmm.
were told to us. One of them, as you well know, because we've had them on a radio show, we work with MBAE, Mass Business Alliance for Education.
Yes.
And we work very closely with our legislator, Senator Mike Moore.
Yeah.
We worked with us exclusively on rewriting an amendment to a bill so that some of that Chapter 74, which is vocational school funding, can go into the public schools.
Yes.
And that's what we're working
Yeah,
very
so they
hard
can
to
start
do.
gearing up to
Yeah.
producing people for these factory jobs that are needed.
Exactly. But not only that, what the schools were telling us, many of the superintendents, was that these vocationally superior students were now stuck in college prep courses they didn't want to be in.
Yes.
So they were not interested in school. Many were dropping out, and they were becoming disciplinary problems because the public schools were not equipped
Well,
to train them.
I think also the public schools, we had this mindset that came about in the 60s
Mm-hmm.
that all the kids had to go to college.
Everybody had to go to college.
Yeah.
It was
Which-
almost like outsourcing.
Yeah.
Everybody outsourced everything, and that's what was killing manufacturing. Now we realize what a big mistake that
Yeah.
was.
Well, it shorted us on people to work in these
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that college became so expensive because, well, look, we had all these customers, we just keep raising the price.
Well, they also saturated the market with college-educated
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and there were no jobs.
Right.
So there were people that had, degrees up the yin yang, and they were working at McDonald's because they couldn't get another
The
job.
4-year degree was no good anymore, and I had to,
You had to do a double major, and you had to get a
Yeah.
doctorate, and you had to
Yeah.
get a master's and a doctorate.
and even then you didn't know. if you
Exactly,
could get a
yeah.
job.
So I think we're doing very well. I'm pretty happy. And then the biggest thing that came out was the Blackstone Valley Education Hub.
Yes.
We built the training center. We graduated our first class. We're into our second year, believe it or not, of the Ed Hub. We now have public school students that come on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We're expanding that to other evenings. And now we're writing actually a reentry grant with the Worcester County Sheriff's Department for inmates that are being released.
Great
and-
program.
And they're going to be coming on Saturday mornings
Yeah.
for training. We already started classes at the jail, so they're doing classroom at the jail. And I am really happy to say today, our day classes took their OSHA 10 test, and every single one of them passed.
Wow.
So they all got the OSHA 10 credentials in addition to their MACWIC 1, and they're working on their MACWIC 2.
You mentioned OSHA. That's another thing that
Yeah.
changed over the years
Yeah.
now. You have to have all kinds of safety information
Yeah,
through OSHA to go to work.
you do, you do.
It's unbelievable.
One of the laws that we need to change is that if you're going to a vocational school, if you're under 18, you're allowed to work on the shop floor. But if you're
Yeah.
taking training, certified credentialed courses, like at the Ed Hub, or even in a public school, you're not allowed
Yeah,
on
see,
the
that's-
shop floor.
That's ridiculous.
So that's a disadvantage for our other students
Right.
that couldn't get into vocational training. So our legislators worked very hard, and they are getting it changed, but now we've run into a snag because the federal law won't change, so we're working with Congressman McGovern to see if we can get that changed.
Well, now, yeah, 'cause now
Yeah.
you're doing it on a federal
Yeah.
basis, yes.
Yeah. So it's always, another level up. But we have unbelievable speakers that are coming. One of them is Dr. Evan Malone, who was the inventor of the first open source 3D printer, and
I know.
also the first Fab Lab. He got his doctorate at MIT, so it's based on the plan from MIT, the next lab, and he built that in Chicago. So, and he gave us the plans and the impetus of the Blackstone Valley Education Hub
So
5 years ago.
He was instrumental in inventing the 3D
Yeah, he and
printer?
another person invented the first open source 3D printer.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you're going to have an opportunity to talk with Evan, Dr.
Those things are
Evan.
amazing.
Yeah. And then we have Dr. Paul Horn, who invented the Watson artificial intelligence computer
I
for
know,
IBM.
that is even more amazing.
And most of you understand Watson or recognize Watson from Jeopardy,
Yeah.
because Watson, I'm calling him he, he's a computer, beat
Yeah.
the humans
Yeah,
on Jeopardy.
I
Yeah.
know, I mean, this is artificial intelligence at its supreme,
Yeah,
and once they get the Watson computer small enough, about the size of a human brain,
yeah.
they'll be able to put it in a robot.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And here's we'll
Well,
have,
WPI is doing wonderful things, and I told you we got a grant with them for the 7th and 8th graders
that's the
with
birth of
cobots.
androids.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be amazing. It's evolving so quickly.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, one of our other keynote speakers is Andrea Jung, and she was the first woman CEO of Avon Corporation.
Yes.
She sits on the board of directors.
Isn't it hard to believe that a cosmetic company,
Didn't have a woman.
I know,
It was run by all men.
yeah,
It was amazing. So she was the first woman CEO. She's the one who put together that campaign with Reese Witherspoon, and honestly really changed the whole mindset of Avon Corporation, because Avon was always ding dong Avon.
yeah.
And you
Avon
thought
calling.
that they were not the best cosmetics to get. Well, that totally changed once that that marketing program with Reese Witherspoon and showing the quality and
Right.
purity of the cosmetics, that they were neck and neck with the Cliniques and the Elizabeth Ardens of the world. So that was all her. That was all her. And she's also sits on the board of directors of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and also director of Grameen International, which many of you probably don't recognize, but it's a gap lending company for minority women and small businesses
Oh,
internationally. So they work a lot with third world countries,
yes.
but they also work with small entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
So it's an
I've heard of that
important
program.
entity. Yeah,
They actually, they've had women in India
yeah,
who were able to start their own little business, and it got them out of poverty.
right, exactly. And that's what Grameen does. So she's a diligent worker. She's also been named one of Fortune 500's most powerful women leaders in the world. So you have an opportunity to speak with her, and she's she's from Massachusetts.
I know.
She's from Wellesley.
Mass.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's
So
really-
it's exciting. She's going to bring her parents with her too. They're in their 90s. So I'm excited to meet them, and
Yeah.
I know they must be very, very proud of Andrea.
Now,
and all
she's
she's
retired now,
accomplished.
right?
No, well, she still sits
Well, she
on
sits on
the
boards,
yeah.
but
She
she's
sits
not-
on and she's also on the board of Wayfair Company.
Oh,
Yeah, so they fly her in. She lives in Manhattan.
that's a company that's grown enormously
yeah.
in the last few years. We're sitting in Wayfair chairs.
Are we? Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Andrea, I'm sure, had a little bit of her finger in
Yeah.
some of this too, which is great. And a lot of people don't realize that Wayfair's in Westboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a
So,
warehouse,
yeah, is in Westboro.
but
So.
they're headquartered right out in Boston.
Yeah, right in Boston. So it's a local company, which is has grown tremendously, and yeah, so we're excited about that. And we have some others. We have a retired admiral who was in charge of the health plans for the military. So he's going to talk a little bit about the changing world of health,
Yeah,
which was one of the challenges. 5 years ago, it was health insurance, the high cost of health insurance, and that's still something that we're kicking around. That still hasn't been resolved.
no.
As we listen to the candidates, it's a hot topic.
Yeah, I mean, Medicare for all isn't the answer because,
No, it's not that easy.
No.
It's just not that
And
easy. I don't
you-
think healthcare is going to be solved like that. I think we're going to have tiers, levels, customization, but we have to lower the cost of treatment and drugs.
that's the big
Yeah,
factor.
yeah, that's the big factor.
Lowering drug costs, but,
Yeah, and it's hard pill,
And-
you know, I don't mean that as a pun, but a hard pill to swallow when you look at the same medication in Canada, and it's a third of the
I
price
know.
of what we pay here.
right, because the
So-
drug companies
Yeah,
are selling it cheaper up there.
yeah,
And
'Cause
they
they keep-
use the excuse, well, it's research. Oh,
No.
didn't you do the research for
yeah,
that one?
exactly, exactly. So, I
But, you
mean,
know, like I tell
we've
you,
got to get through that red tape and cut it back.
I got a bill from
Yeah.
going to the doctor, and it was a check for cancer,
Yeah,
which you always have to do,
yeah,
$400.
yeah,
I says, you know, my wife went to the clinic, and that bill was $300 and something. And he said, I saw him for 5 minutes.
yeah.
And
It's-
it's- the insurance companies are paying it, so they.
Yeah, and that's
but
it. So we
I
really
think
need
we
an
really have to
overhaul.
look at that. I think that, you
Yeah,
know, we have to step in, wait a minute, aren't you getting, but then again, you look at what colleges charge for education. There's a lot of places where I think things are much too high.
yeah, they are. We need an overhaul. We need someone that's going to go over with a fine-tooth comb
Yeah.
and really work for the public.
Yeah,
One of the other speakers is Rob Shepard of Fresenius. And Fresenius, they just opened the dialysis center, the kidney center in Sutton.
yes,
And people don't realize that Fresenius is one of the largest hospital organizations and administrators in the world. They have over 800 hospitals in Germany alone.
wow,
Yeah, so he's the senior vice president, and he's going to be presenting one of our awards, the Cornerstone Award, to Fresenius Kidney Care for building that big facility in
Oh,
Sutton.
beautiful facility.
Yeah,
And people don't realize it, this is a dialysis facility right here in Sutton. You don't have to drive into the city now,
right,
into Worcester or Providence or, God forbid, Boston,
yeah,
because you're in there for 4 hours.
right, right,
And it's nice and easy, convenient.
yeah.
It's close
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, And one of the gentlemen who was in on that 5-year plan, and you probably spoke with him, was John MacArthur, and he was from the Harvard Business School. And we had some of our meetings up at Harvard Business School 5 years ago. And John came out probably about 8 months ago to see the Ed Hub, and he
Yep.
was so thrilled to see it come to fruition. And unfortunately, John passed away. He passed away
Oh,
2
sorry to
months
hear
ago.
that.
Very suddenly, he had a heart attack. So one of the awards we're giving is the John MacArthur Harvard Business School Award for Excellence, and that's going to go to Robin LeClaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, at
Also,
Lampin Corporation.
Woman
Yeah,
CEO.
right, woman CEO, but her predecessor, Bill DiBenedetto, sat in on that whole 5-year plan program. So it was great to see Lampin carrying the torch.
They've
And
done very well.
they really
They're
have.
doing extremely well.
Yeah, they're doing extremely well. So we're excited about this annual meeting because it's extremely meaningful.
Yep.
It's kind of a barometer for what's going on in the Blackstone Valley. It's like we're listening and we're trying to meet the needs of the Blackstone Valley and the manufacturers and economic development.
Yeah.
And we would love the public to come. It's open to the public.
Yep.
And it's just a great opportunity for you to, it's kind of a meeting of the minds. And
At Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, at Pleasant Valley Country Club. Registration starts at 7 a.m. The program will start probably a little bit before 8, so you can mingle for a little while, probably about 7:45. We'll start the program, and it's going to run a little bit longer because we have some other awards that we're giving, our community awards that we usually give. And I'm really happy to say one of the most prestigious awards is the Jerry Gaudette Extra Mile Award.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Jerry was a very important factor in the valley.
he was very philanthropic, and he loved this community. So
Yes.
it's appropriate that that prestigious award is named for him. For people who give back to the community. And this year's recipient is our own Harry Berkowitz, because you do so much for all of us.
I do it because I love doing it.
And that's why, it comes naturally. It's not a chore for you.
Right.
And so you're the perfect candidate this year. So congratulations, Harry. We're really
Yeah.
thrilled to give you that award.
I always wanted to get into radio.
Yeah,
It
and
took
here
till
you
I was
go.
70 years old. But I'm there, and
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you really are.
But
And you do a
it
great
is
job.
great for the valley because it's bringing
Yeah.
us recognition.
And let's face it, you might be getting like what we might say a stipend, but you're really doing it as a donation.
It is
of
a stipend
It's
when I
a
do get
donation
it.
of your time and talent, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, so we appreciate that. So we've got the Cornerstone Award for Fresenius. You're getting the Jerry Gaudette Extra Mile Award. And our economic development leaders we're giving to Clear Vision Alliance, Lynn and Ravi, Lynn Whitney Turner and Ravi Kulkarni. And they run our CEO Roundtable. And they've done a lot of good work and counseling for many, many businesses in the Blackstone Valley, but
Yep.
also throughout central Massachusetts. And
Yep.
they donate a lot of their time.
People don't realize when you go into business, it's not that simple.
No, it
Especially
isn't.
if you're never were in business before.
Yeah,
Because you have so many things so many laws you're going to be aware of, and taxes and
Yeah.
payrolls, and oh my God, it's a nightmare. It's not an
Yeah.
easy thing. And unless you've got someone who really, you can hire someone that knows all that, it makes it very tough.
Yeah.
And small businesses can't do that.
no, and one thing that they do that's unique in their counseling is they coach too.
Yes.
And they meet with a lot of people, they don't charge, they make sure it's a good fit, and they'll coach them. I have someone who is between jobs right now, wondering if they should start their own company, and they're setting up an appointment next Tuesday to meet with them and just kind of give them some expert advice. And small business needs that little leg up.
Yes.
And just like your friend and mine, Danielle DeRozier, and Green
Yes.
Plate, and she's going to be honored because 5 years ago she came to that meeting. She had a dream. She thought then she wanted to do a food truck, and then she wanted to do catering. And for 2 years, she took counseling, she took classes, she met with me, she met with the whole team. She really did due diligence, easy for me to say, and she has that wonderful restaurant, the Green Plate on
Doing
Church
very
Street.
well.
Doing very, very well. Might even be branching out, and we're talking about that. But again, she's someone who does her homework, and at first, I'll be honest with you, we had a hard time getting financing for her because a lot of banks do not want to lend money
They're
to
scared to
restaurants.
death of restaurants. 'cause
And
that's the-
especially to a restaurateur who has no history.
Yeah.
So she
Restaurants
had
are
a
the
hard
number
time.
one bankruptcy
Yeah,
in the country.
Yeah, yeah. So she proved everybody wrong, but more importantly, one of our members stepped up and worked with her, and that was Homefield Credit Union,
Yeah,
and which was Grafton Credit Union, I think at the
Yeah.
time. So we're going to honor them with with a medal for supporting the community. We're going to spotlight Danielle for everything that she's done.
well, you think, she went into business. She's going to tell a bank that I'm going to start a restaurant where everything is gluten-free
Yeah,
and natural foods, and they say, whoa, how's this going to succeed?
exactly.
She's lucky that she found someone that was
Yeah.
willing to stick their neck
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and it's paid back for them because
Yeah.
she paid her loans.
Yep, she is doing quite well,
Yep.
and it's really catching on. She's busy. The food is unbelievably good,
Yeah.
as you know. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, it's so good. And people think it's vegetarian, but it's not.
No,
She has,
no, it's
but if you buy,
gluten-free.
it's gluten free. But if you buy meat from her, it's grass fed
Local,
and hormone free
yeah,
and local.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it comes from Whittier, so it's cleanly killed.
yeah.
It's not dirty. It's slaughtered locally, which kills me to say because I am a vegetarian. I
Yeah.
don't eat meat, but she does everything right. And even the vegetables that we get, it's from local farmers, and you can see that some of her offerings are changing a little bit. She's got some of the fall squashes mixed
Yes.
in, where in the summer she would have, tomatoes and, beans and whatever you got freshly out of the
Yeah.
garden. Now it's switching more to the root vegetables because it's fall and that's what we're doing. But it's so delicious, so delicious.
I have a French Canadian meat pie on order for Christmas.
And she
has them.
yeah,
They're available. You can order them. You have to order them ahead.
yeah,
But the
Yeah.
real thing,
yeah.
and growing up in Rockdale, I know French meat pie.
Well, she's French and she
Yes.
knows what she's doing, and I think
And
she learned from her
She's
late mother.
featured every once a month on the show. It's now at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings.
Yeah,
The second half of the show, we feature someone from the chamber, a member
Yeah.
of the chamber,
Yeah.
and she's the feature for the first
Yeah.
show, which
Yeah.
is this Sunday.
yeah, because she's amazing. I think I'm one of her best customers. I love her food, and she's amazing. The recipes they're all tried and true. She even makes her own vegetable noodles.
Yes.
So you can get spaghetti
I know.
squash, or she makes
She makes a
squash
lot of
noodles.
stuff right from scratch. And
Almost everything is
Yeah,
from scratch. Yeah.
she's got to put in a lot of hours.
She goes in very early in the morning. She shops locally.
Yeah.
Some comes from Let Us Be Local. I can't say enough great things about her. And for Thanksgiving, I ordered one of her, oh my God, yummy, very delicious lasagnas. Now, my maiden name's Mastro Giovanni. I make lasagna, but her lasagna is butternut squash and kale with a white sauce.
Oh,
So it's perfect complement to a turkey on Thanksgiving.
yeah.
So I ordered, I'm having about 9 people over, so she's making a big lasagna for me. So if you haven't been to the Green Plate, make sure you go there, see what she's got to offer. She's got fully made meals in the freezer you can get, and, as
Yeah.
well as salads, roll-ups, and her roll-ups are made from kale. It's gluten-free, and it's so delicious. Has some apple in it. When you bite into the sandwich, it's like, wow, what flavor. It's great. So she makes good things. I'm gushing, but it's terrific. So we're going to honor her as well as spotlighting. And then our other award is our community leader. And we've looked through the nominees, and Premier Realty in Uxbridge is going to be the
Fairly
recipient.
new, aren't they?
Yeah, it is, and their president is Chris Witten, and he's very community-minded. He's helped to fund the fireworks in Uxbridge.
Yeah.
He's led cleanup days in the valley, and he encourages anyone who works for him to give back to the community. And he's a community leader, so it's a perfect
Well, yeah. This
Perfect
what makes the
company.
valley
Yeah.
what it is the businesses that give back to the valley,
Yeah.
the people that live here, patronize these businesses, and it's a good team.
Yeah, it is a good team. That's one thing I found. This is my 12th annual meeting.
I can't get over 41
41
years.
years, 41 years, yeah. And one thing that's always struck me about the Valley is how people work together, and they really love the history of the Valley, and they care
Yes.
about the Valley. And we're so lucky to have, the natural beauty and the history and, the manufacturing. And it's nice to see Church Street revitalized, too.
Yes, doesn't it look great?
Yeah. We've got the Shop Small coming up.
Yeah, and a lot of small, always vacant stores fronts are being filled up.
And the stores that are going in are so unique.
Yes,
They're amazing. I hope that some of you out there have had a chance to visit some of the stores that are on Church Street, because and especially for Christmas shopping or holiday shopping,
Well, you
you're
know
going to
what?
find some unique gifts. Really,
Where's My Insurance closed,
yeah.
and there's someone in there already.
I know.
A little gift shop.
I mean, I remember the heyday of Louis and Irene's
But
and,
those days are gone.
right. But these
And-
boutique stores, Little Man,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the beautiful things she makes, and worldwide, people
Yeah.
from all over the world are asking for her
But
creations.
you shop in downtown Waynesville, you're gonna find things
Yeah.
you're not gonna find anywhere else.
Exactly.
So, yeah, at Christmas, I know a lot of people, I feel that way. You like to give something unique.
I do.
I don't wanna give
Yeah.
something that someone can buy anywhere.
A gift you can be proud of.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's different,
You're right.
and that's what you're gonna find there.
Yeah.
And this is going on in a lot of small towns.
Yeah. But I'm really happy to see this happening. The Crafty Nester,
Yeah,
that's there, and the store. There's one store that has handmade paper cards. They're beautiful,
I know.
and I love that sort of thing. That's kind of I could spend so much money on that kind of stationery. It's kind of my little niche, my little part of my heart. Loves beautiful stationery.
That's
and
what I mean. You
pens
can't
and-
find this you're not gonna
No,
find
you
this in the
can't.
malls or
No,
at
not
Walmart.
at all. And you give a gift that no one else can
Right.
give. You're not going to see yourself walking down the street if you buy something from Little Man, because it's different and she makes it. And she has beautiful vintage textiles,
Yes.
to purchase. So, yeah, I can't say enough about the area. Our area is great. In Grafton, there's the beautiful antique shop there, right behind Apple Tree Arts.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
It used to be a repair shop.
Yeah, now it's
Automotive repair,
antiques,
now
and
it's,
like almost consignment. So there's vignettes in there. So I think they sell space to different people who bring in their items, and they set it up almost like a pretty shop window.
We're gonna have to feature them on
Yeah,
the radio
yeah,
show.
yeah. And the country store, Carol Dauphinet's country store in Grafton, has really unique gifts.
And these are all chamber members,
Yeah,
by the way.
they're all chamber members, and quite fetching.
That is really
The
unique.
dog shop, yeah, if you haven't been there and you love dogs like I love dogs.
Your dog will love the
Oh,
store.
they'll love Quite Fetching. They have homemade doggy ice cream.
Yeah.
And they have.
Doggy pastry.
Doggy pastries.
And it's pastry that's made for dogs.
Right.
It's not loaded with sugar.
No, it's got the ingredients that are good for your dog, but they're
Yep.
pretty.
Yeah.
And they have birthday parties. You can have your dog there and have a birthday party for your dog there.
Yeah.
They even, in the summer, and I don't know if they're still having it, because you can dine al fresco across the street at Hunter's Tavern, because they're located on the Common as well in Grafton. One Sunday a month, they have dinner with your dog. So you can go to Hunter's Tavern and bring your dog, and your dog can have dinner, and you have dinner, and everybody brings their
Well,
dogs, and it's fun.
At Quite Fetching, they have the doggy bar
Yeah, they have a doggy
where they
bar.
serve doggy beer.
Yep.
I mean, your dog will be thrilled to death to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we have some wonderful, unique shops
Yeah.
and businesses in the
I
Blackstone
mean, that's
Valley.
totally new idea. I had her on TV.
Yeah.
You ought to franchise that
I
idea,
know.
that
Well,
concept.
they work so hard there. I'm sure that would just make her tired. So,
Yeah.
and above there, Apple Tree Arts has
Yes.
renovated the beautiful
they'll
theater.
be here in December.
Yeah, they have that beautiful performance center there.
Yes.
And it's
their
really
art
lovely.
show is on
Yeah,
right
their
now.
art, right, exactly. It's going on right now. So And they have some entertainment happening during the art
In
show.
fact, I gotta try and get a couple of minutes to get up there. I wanna take a look at it.
Yeah, yeah. And next weekend is the Kinderskull Christmas Mart, just like in
Yes.
Germany at Valancourt Folk Art, the 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's happening, and it's all day and into the evening, and the tickets are only like $10.
That is a
So,
place
yeah.
to go into. It's like walking into Christmas.
Yeah. Well, you were stationed in Germany,
Yes,
so you've gone to the German ones. I've gone to the German ones. We used to buy our
Yes.
chocolate in
yes.
Germany. So, and we'd go in January, and it still was open. They'd have it in a big aviator hangar. That's how big it was in Hamburg.
I went in Nuremberg,
Yeah.
and it was right downtown. They have a big square
Yeah.
downtown, and all these people were set up, little vendors.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I mean, it's quite the thing.
And that's exactly what Gary and Luke and Judy Valancourt are recreating right at the Manchok Mill. So I can't wait to go next weekend.
They
It's going to be
create
really
Christmas
fun.
there 365
Yeah,
days a year. When
yeah.
you walk in the door, it's just amazing.
Right. And then December 11th is our Jingle and Mingle at Valancourt
Yes,
Folk Art. And
yes.
that's 5:30 to 7:30, usually runs a little bit longer. And you're welcome to stay, but it's a great celebration and no better place to be for a holiday party than Valancourt
I
Folk
know.
Art. Because it's like you said, it's Christmas every day, but the closer you get to Christmas, the more beautiful it becomes there.
Yes.
And yeah, it's
And
a
if
fun
you
time.
want, a lot of people like to have unique ornaments for their tree.
Yeah.
You'll find it there.
Yeah, almost anything. If there's someone that, likes dogs, they have dogs. If you like cats, or if you like guitars, or
Yeah.
whatever, they have really unique and beautiful ornaments. And they have some that are very, very affordable. They have the collectibles
Yes.
that, of course, are expensive, but they're well worth it.
Well, they're all
because they're all
numbered and everything,
handmade. They're all
so-
numbered. They're handmade. They're made from antique chocolate molds, and they're hand painted. Judy oversees that.
Because
She's an artist.
Those actually increase in value.
Yeah, yeah, and they sell them not just here. They're at the Mart in Atlanta. They're in some like Lord and Taylor, large stores like that,
Yeah.
Macy's. So they do sell them seasonally at some of these.
The higher specialty stores.
Yeah, the higher level specialty stores, but they're so beautiful. People come and fly in when they're going to launch a new piece.
Yeah, to get one.
Yeah, to get
Because
one.
like I say, they go up in value because
they do.
they only make so many. They're all numbered.
Yeah,
So in 20 years, that thing's gaining value because
Yeah.
you're not going to get another one.
no, it's unique. So December 11th, 5 to 7:30, Valancourt Folk Art, lots of fun, and it's free with a toy or a gift card, and
Yeah.
that all goes to Blackstone Valley Family Services.
Yeah, if you don't want to pick up a $10, $20 gift card.
Which is great because it's for the older kids.
Yes.
And the older kids get forgotten. So yeah, gift cards are great gifts, and even if it's $10 or
A Visa
$15,
card.
yeah,
So
one of those.
you can use it anywhere.
Yeah,
They-
because don't forget the preteens and the teenagers that don't want the little dolls or the little
Right.
cars and that, yeah. But, because we get plenty of those. And we donate that every year to Blackstone Valley Family Services. Last year, we filled up the back of my SUV and Julia's SUV. So people were very generous, and we thank you for that. But it's always fun, and we love bringing that and seeing the happy faces when we drop that off. And they have a big party with the kids and hand that out, and some of gets going. Because Toys for Tots is wonderful. I love Toys for Tots, but that doesn't necessarily stay in the Blackstone Valley.
Right.
So-
And again, it's toys,
Yeah.
so some of the older kids can get left
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So these go, I personally deliver them. They stay in the Blackstone Valley. They're going to the needy families of the Blackstone Valley, which there are more than you would believe.
Yeah, even
So-
though the economy is great, and
Yeah.
there's other reasons, many reasons why people
Yeah.
are destitute.
Yeah. It's a lot of single mothers with children trying to make ends meet. and
Yeah,
They
you
just
find
can't
it hard
afford
to-
anything
to-
for
to work
Christmas.
and take care of the family, and
Yeah,
it can be
yeah.
a big problem.
So you can make somebody really happy and put a smile on their face and have some fun too. So we'd love to see you at the Jingle and Mingle on
Do you
December
work
11th.
with Representative Meridian? He does a,
He does the coat drive.
Yeah.
We work with, and the sheriff does the coat drive too.
yeah.
So we work with them too. So yeah, Dave Meridian, he does a lot for the community too. We're very fortunate with our legislators. They work very hard for the people here.
You'd be amazed. When I was working with the Scouts, we had kids didn't have winter coats.
I know.
And
Well,
we'd try to get them donated.
the superintendent of schools tells me that the kids are coming into school and they don't
Yeah,
have a
you-
coat and
You don't think
You
about
know,
it yourself.
yeah,
If you live in one of the better neighborhoods, you don't see it,
Yeah.
you don't think about it, but it's out
Yeah.
there. And God, how can your kid go through winter like
I
that?
know. And the Rotary Club in town also, they purchase new coats. Dave
Yeah.
will take some gently used coats, which is nice, and the sheriff will take gently used. The Rotary takes money and they go out and they ask like the school system or in the valley what size coats they need, what they need, and they go out and they purchase them. So that's a little different, but they do good work too, the Rotaries.
And that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So, but thank you to all of you that helped during the holiday season, especially during the holiday season. But remember, all year round, people need help all
Yes.
year round. Yeah. So we have a lot of fun things coming up at the annual meeting. I'm so excited about, and especially with everything that's happening with you too, Harry. But we've come a long way in 5 years, and we're still working hard.
That's gonna be a busy week.
Yeah, yeah. We're still working hard.
Yeah.
And we're, growing the Ed Hub, and we really want to be able to help the students that want to get vocational training.
Well, my objective is to let people know the valley exists.
Yeah.
Years ago, if you went outside of the Blackstone Valley, you went into the Metro West or anything, oh, I'm from the Blackstone. Where's that?
I know.
We're getting known now.
We are known. And we're known at the State House, which is great. And
Yes.
we even, some of the legislators, or MBAE, as they said on our show, they'll ask about, the MBAE will put something out about an amendment, and they'll say, well, did the Blackstone Valley Chamber sign on to that? And they'll go, yeah, well, then we'll sign on to that too. So, because they know we've done our due diligence, yeah,
But the Ed Hoc
yeah,
is the best thing going.
yeah.
I mean, that is really, it's a great service to the community
Oh,
because
the Ed Hub, yeah,
The Ed Hub,
we
because-
love the Ed Hub, yeah, it's great.
there's such a need, and you talk to these manufacturers, it's hard to believe that they say.
We've got 3 students, they haven't graduated yet, they're already working, they already have a
Yeah.
job. So, we, fingers crossed, we put in for a $495,000 grant so that we can get the virtual welding machine, so we can start teaching welding, which is in great demand. We
Oh,
again listen to our
unbelievable demand.
manufacturers, and that's the number one demand is welding. And these are virtual welders, so it's no risk for us, because we can't build
Yeah,
those
they don't actually
welding
using
booths
torches in
and-
the building.
No, it's air, but it's a welder, a real welder, but instead of heat, they're using air. But when you look at the screen and you get the feeling you really are welding, it
Yes.
shows you're laying down a bead when there is really
and
no
it'll
bead. and-
show you if you make a mistake.
Right, it grades you and it teaches you. And these, just the little ones cost $25,000 a piece. So it's not cheap. The larger ones are double that. So we'd like to get a couple of small ones and a couple of large ones and get the certifications for welding. And our manufacturer, we had demonstrations done, and our manufacturers agreed that they would accept credentials from that machine, because they had their welders come in and use it, and they didn't do as well as they thought they would do on the machine as they do. So it was a learning experience, so they really bought into it, so it's great.
Yeah, we don't realize that there's all these needs in the valley
Yeah.
for this type of
Yeah.
workers.
Yeah.
Because you drive by, you don't think about it,
Right,
but it's out there.
yeah. I was talking to a woman who owns a construction company last night at our business after hours in Millville, and they can't get carpenters.
Oh, I know.
So what we're going to do is talk about a curriculum for that and maybe buy some saws. They actually have the virtual saws too, which we want to get. And again, those are like $35,000, and use styrofoam.
Yeah.
But it grades you again on how you, like, they'll say, oh, you just cut your hand off, whatever. But, so it's a great way to teach and get the skill set without the
Yep.
risk. And so she's going to come out and take a look at the Ed Hub, and we're going to work on putting a curriculum together.
Oh.
So soon we'll be training people for the carpentry trades. And the Carpenters Union will support that for us, which will help, because we always need money.
Yes.
We need funding,
Yeah,
badly
they
to keep
need
it going.
carpenters.
Yeah, they need carpenters, they need plumbers, they need,
Drive down
electricians.
146, that plumbing company,
yeah,
got this big banner out there hiring plumbers.
yeah.
They can't find any.
I'm getting letters from plumbing firms on the other side of the state asking if we can send them some candidates.
They can't find any.
No, and they make really good money.
Oh, my God,
Six
yes.
figures easily.
Yeah.
So this is a great trade to get into. And in our class, we have two young women in our
Oh.
class. So I'm really excited, and they're doing great.
They're in
Yeah.
in a plumbing class?
And no, they're in the welding
Yeah.
and
A
they're
lot
in
of
the
women
advanced
going into the
manufacturing.
heavy
Yeah,
industrial trades.
yeah, yeah. And actually, they do very well in welding because they've got smaller hands and a lighter touch.
Yeah,
I mean, when you're doing the really heavy welding, maybe you need the bigger, like the all steel fabrication company in Grafton. They do really heavy welding and marine welding, and they want, the bigger people for that. But when one of the other people who's hiring is Wire Fab, right over the line in Worcester. He makes all of the cooking utensils for Dunkin' Donuts. So some of that are fry
Oh.
baskets
yeah,
and other caterers. So they make the big grills for the caterers. So there's a lot of welding there.
yes.
But for so there's the regular welding for some of the larger pieces, but for those fry baskets, it's spot welding and it's robotic welding.
Yes.
So we're teaching the students on the CNC machines how to program the robots.
Yep,
And because there's hundreds of welding spots to put together that mesh basket.
right, but it's got a robot,
But the robot, you
contacts
put it
the-
in, you program it,
Yeah,
you pull it down because the welding's going on, you pull down the shield so no one gets hurt, and you hear boop, 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 and it opens up and it's all welded.
yeah,
So-
it's a virtual weld.
Right, as long as you programmed it right.
Yeah,
As long as you coded it right.
yeah,
So it's really exciting. I'm learning a lot too, and I know I have a lot of enthusiasm for it, but I'm blown away by what these students can do and how talented they are. And these are the kids that the vocational schools didn't want
right.
because they weren't academically superior.
But they're great with their hands.
They're great with their hands, but also the mathematics they have to do, they do that. They
Yep.
learn that. I looked at some of the manufacturing books, which we purchased on the advice of our manufacturers. So some of these are big handbooks for, I think one's called the Manufacturer's Handbook, but inside there has all of the mathematic equations that have to be considered when you're creating something. Another industry in Sutton we work with is Package Steel Industries. They make metal buildings for all over the world,
Yes.
but they're created here. So it's like a puzzle. So could you imagine if they measured even a quarter of an inch off?
The building won't
And
go
they
to-
sent
won't
it,
go
it's
together.
not gonna.
No.
So you need to be able to do the mathematics, know it, so when you put it into the computer and code it, it's correct. Because if you didn't do it correctly, even just being a hair off,
Yep.
it's gonna ruin the whole building.
Well, these kids, when you teach the academics,
Yeah,
sometimes the kids don't absorb because it's just the way it's being taught to them, and they
Right.
don't see a use for it.
and all of the teachers we have are retired vocational instructors. So they get it, and they really love what they do, and you can see when they're talking to the students, it really comes across.
But when you show the student, this is what you use the math for,
Yeah, they get
now
it.
they want to
Yeah.
absorb it.
And we do it in a fun way too, like, I think I told you, we have the 3D printer, a litter of dog, we call a litter of the golden retrievers that they made.
Yeah.
But if you pick each one up, it weighs different, and that was the project. They all
had to-
look
had
the
to-
same,
It looked the same,
but
but
you
weight.
had to do the mathematics in order to make the weight.
Yeah,
So you did the mathematics to use the right amount of material to create that
Yes.
weight. And when people go, oh yeah, this one's light, oh, this one's heavy.
Yeah,
This one's in between, but they all met the criteria, and I know that I talked about this before too, but we also have the manual machines for them to learn with the corresponding CNC machines. So what they do on the manual machines, they give them the project to make a certain product with only so many changes on the machine.
ah,
So,
now you gotta figure out how do I do that?
yeah, because if you're duplicating something on another side, you do that at the same time, so you're not taking that drill out and putting it back in again.
Ah.
But that's what the CNC machines do. They do it automatically. They have all the drills in there, and you program the computer, and the drills just go around, and they make the product that you made manually that took you, a lot longer to make.
Right,
But you can see how you do the same thing on the CNC machine, and it helps to give that correlation of, now I get it.
now I know why I have to learn that, now I know
Exactly.
why we need that.
Yeah,
You go back to school, when you were in school, in math, they gave you a big column, numbers, add up, you said, why am I doing this? Well, I'm never gonna, you never saw any reason for it.
right.
English,
Yeah,
I never thought that diagramming made any difference,
diagramming the sentences,
Yeah.
yeah.
but then, when I got older and I went to work for Rodney Lee,
Oh, yeah.
and I was writing a column for him, I said, now I know
Now
why
you
it comes
get
in
it. The light
handy, now I
bulb,
know how to
yeah.
put together a sentence.
One of the other classes we have, because you have to really have, especially in manufacturing, you have to put together teams that work together.
Yes,
So we have a lifestyles class, and it teaches communication.
that's very important.
Yeah,
Especially in any job, you have to communicate with your
Yeah.
fellow workers.
And everyone communicates differently.
Yeah.
I always say I'm a driver personality because I like to just get things done.
Yeah.
But then there are people who are analytic. They are going to get the job done, but they need to think about it and they got to dissect. They drive me crazy. But you need those kinds of people on your team
Right,
because they're the ones that are going to take a look at what you put together and say, well, I think we can improve it by doing this.
right, exactly.
And they have another point of view. So it helps to identify what types of people you are so that you can work together on a team.
Yes.
And that's one of the classes that we have. But we also have, in addition to, it's a lifestyle class, but it's, how to living on your own, I think is what it's called. Because this is the first job for these students. And they suddenly get this money. And they need a place to live. They want to
Yeah.
buy a car, and they're.
Well, they're not getting that.
No.
I mean, they did away with home economics.
I know. And so they don't know how, maybe they don't write checks anymore, but, they get a debit card, and let's say they're making $1,000 a week, but they're not taking home $1,000 a week.
No.
So don't spend $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
And you need to keep a little bit in the bank, instead, we were having a conversation with one of the parents of just one of the students that got his first real job, and he was working with him on budgeting, because he was saying, you got to put some money away. Well, I can't put money away. I don't make enough money to put money away. Well, why aren't you? So this is the classes that we're teaching.
Right.
Yeah, because
You gotta teach them, you have enough money to put something away,
Yeah.
but, because you gotta
and
probably
you get
not
an
spend on
apartment.
this end.
Yeah, you get an apartment. You should get a roommate, and who's going to take out the
Right.
lease, and who's signing the lease, who's responsible for that? What kind of car are you getting?
Well,
you
if
you
you
can't
get-
run out
if you
on
get
your first
apartment-
job and get a brand new car, a $60,000 car.
If you make $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
And your apartment's $1,000, well, wait a minute, you gotta put $250 away every week out of that $1,000, not wait till the apartment rent comes up and give them the whole check.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta budget ahead.
And that's what's not being taught. And a lot of young people are getting into debt early.
Yes.
And they're saying, I have $1,000, but they'll look in their checking account, well, I have $800. How come? Well, you got to pay employment tax, and you got to do this, and
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, that's another thing that what people don't realize. When someone hires you, and they give you a check for they offer you $1,000 a week or $10, $20 an hour or
Yeah.
whatever. It's costing them more than that.
Yeah.
If they're giving you benefits, they got to pay for that.
Yeah.
They're paying 7.5% on your Social Security.
Exactly.
They're paying Medicare.
Paid family medical leave.
Yeah, medical
yeah.
leave now, and
Yeah.
so when you add it all up, they're paying you a lot more than what you're
Yeah.
actually seeing.
And, training them to when you're going for an interview, what questions to ask.
Yes.
What are your needs? What kind of job do you need to have to live? What kind of responsibilities do you have? Are you thinking of getting married? Are you already married? Do you have a child? What are your responsibilities? Maybe you need to, if you're single, maybe you need to get a roommate. So these are all the things that we're trying to teach because it's not really taught anymore.
I know, and that's where the schools are falling
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they think they have
It's
to do.
all been eliminated. No financial literacy is taught in school anymore. We're trying to bring it back. And I know Charlie Baker's been working on that too. We have that program. We paid for that program, so we're teaching the students that. And honestly, they're thriving. I can't believe how great they are. They make me proud. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basic stuff like teaching them how to do an application.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We actually we had a job fair, as you know, at the chamber today with Medline. Great company just moved into Uxbridge. They just built the 880,000 square foot building,
That
and
is- Where is that in Uxbridge now?
It's in
Ironstone?
no, you know where the VCA it's on the way to 146 where you get on 146.
Yes.
What is that? Is that Douglas Road? I can't remember the
Route
name of that.
16?
Yeah, it's right across from the entrance to 146. It's the
Oh.
building site that's there.
Okay, up by
Near the Hab.
up by
Not
Patrick's?
far, the Habitat. Near the
Yeah.
Habitat, yeah, up there.
Yeah, in the area where
It's right
Patrick's.
across the street from VCA Animal Hospital.
Okay, yeah, it's a huge industrial park in that
Yeah,
area.
and that's where they are. They're in that industrial park.
A lot of
and
people
they're-
might know it by, that's where Caroline's is.
Oh, right. Well, Caroline's a little bit further down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at where Lenza. Caroline's is where Lenza Corporation.
Yeah.
Who just won Manufacturer of the Year. We
Oh.
nominated them. The Chamber nominated them in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I'm going tomorrow with Representative Soto to present them with their award.
Oh,
So we're very thrilled to be able to present that.
yeah.
But Medline is a great company. They need 80 employees right now. And by March, they're going to need 400.
That is, I mean, if you're looking for a job in
Yeah.
the valley,
And they have great benefits. Starting
Yes.
pay $15 an hour.
and it's not the typical warehouse job.
No, it's robotics.
Yeah, warehouses are automated
Nice
today.
and clean, and it's huge. Oh my goodness! But they need everybody. They need everybody from janitorial services all the way up to forklift drivers, people who can program the robots to do the
Yep.
picking, because their system is kind of like Amazon and Walmart
Right.
has the robots
But
on
they'll
the
train
track.
you in that.
They will train you, and we're training them too.
Yeah.
So you just have to do an assessment test so they know where to place you, what your attributes are, and they're hiring at all different levels.
But what I say, don't be afraid of a computer today.
No.
And you'll get a good job.
Exactly. So, so a lot of exciting things happening in the valley. I like to think a lot of it has to do with the 5-year plan we put together, and moving forward and taking the advice of some of these really powerful and brilliant individuals.
Well, we're
in the
getting
industry.
international recognition
We
now,
are.
and you see that by who's coming in.
Yeah, yeah. Lenza was AC Tech, purchased by Lenza, a global German company.
Yeah.
And they have great benefits. Whenever I tour there, my impression is everyone has a smile on their face. They love working there, and they do a lot for their employees. They, I think once a week they buy them dinner or lunch, and I know they've bought tickets from us, like 300 tickets for the hockey game, and given them out to
You
their.
don't, employers aren't looking at employees now like, okay, they come in at 8
Oh,
o'clock
you
and
need to
leave
be.
at
You're
5.
lucky you have a job. They don't do
Yeah,
that
no,
anymore.
no.
No.
It's a good
Yeah.
relationship
It
now.
is
They
a good
become
relationship.
family.
Yeah.
I know when I toured Lambkin, you could see that everyone
Yeah.
in that place was happy.
Oh yeah,
And they loved
and
the
they
job
own
they
the
were doing.
well, Lampin, they own the company.
Yeah,
All
I
the
know.
employees own the company.
The employees
Yeah.
are the owners.
Yeah, they are, and
So-
it's great. And when we explain that to the students that we take through, it's like, who do I apply to for this job? It's great. So they're smart. And we always tell the students too, when you drive in, look at the cars in the parking lot,
Yes.
and you're going to see what kind of people work here and how well they are taken care
I've
of
always
by the
looked at
make
it
of
that
car.
way. If
Yeah.
you see a lot of nice cars,
Yep.
you know they're getting paid well.
Exactly. So it's terrific. So we're really lucky to have what we have in the valley, and fortunate to have the people here that we have, the industry that we have. We're on an upswing right now, which is great.
Yeah.
We've got a few little hurdles. The tariffs are hurting people like Riverdale Mills and Wire Fab and packaged steel
There's
industries.
changes coming there.
So we've got to work on that, but we're working on legislation. And we have great legislators who listen to us, and I know they kid me. They go, yeah, we look at our phone, and it's you. But, you know, we're your agent. The Chamber of Commerce is your agent. We want to listen for you. We're your advocate, and we're always going to advocate for you. And the annual meeting, we want you to come to that. Again, Tuesday, November 26th, 7 a.m. begins registration. The program's going to begin about 7:45, and it's going to run probably close to 10, but you know, you're going to see a lot of people like Harry there getting recognized, and you're going to see many of your friends there, and you're going to have an opportunity to speak with people you probably will never have the opportunity to mingle with or speak to again.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you are mingled. You just
Yeah.
you're out there in the audience. Everybody talks to everybody. And
Yeah.
you meet a lot of people.
And I'm blown away in talking with, like, Dr. Horn, and he doesn't even like to be called Dr. Horn, you call him Paul, but he developed Watson. I mean,
I know.
artificial intelligence. What kind of brain puts that together?
I
You
know.
know?
It is an amazing machine. I mean,
Yeah.
it really thinks for itself.
It does. It can answer so many questions, and I have a hard time comprehending how they even put it together.
I mean,
and it's been improved since we
Right.
saw it.
I'm impressed with my Amazon, what do you call it? I forget what I call her now.
Oh, not Siri. It's Alexa.
Alexa.
Yeah.
I'm amazed with Alexa.
Yeah.
I got a voice match now, so I
Yeah.
say, Alexa, who are you talking to? And she says, I'm talking to Harry.
Oh. Well, I was yelling at Siri today. She wouldn't do anything for me. I don't know what the heck. She was on strike or something today. I was trying to get her to make a phone call
But
for me.
this is what the future is. I mean, it's so amazing how these things are coming about.
I know. And I'm amazed at the brilliance of the young people.
Oh,
And
God.
how they're thirsty for learning and how much they absorb and how talented they are. I
Yeah.
mean, you know it too. I hand my phone to my grandson and say,
They're
fix
better with it than
fix
you
this
are.
Finoni. You know,
Yes.
program this Finoni.
Is it amazing?
Now, I messed up my Fitbit. I don't know what. I pushed some button and I messed it up, and my granddaughter had to go in and reprogram it for me. I'm like, what did I do? What did Noni do? She goes, I don't know, but I'll fix it for you.
I
So
know.
they're just amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are. They are.
Yeah.
I mean, I was close to getting hold of my granddaughter from. I just got a new phone, and I'm like, what do I do? You know.
Well, we weren't, they learned that. Everything is, like, they show the babies now, they give them a magazine and they're trying to swipe the magazine
Yeah.
because they're so used to having an iPad.
I've been in restaurants and seen kids with these little
Yeah.
toys that they're.
Everything is swiping and
Oh my
touching.
God!
and-
I said, and,
Yeah.
which is good because that's what they're gonna go into a life of doing.
Yeah, yeah. Everything is different, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we've lived when we live because we've seen these wonderful transitions.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up here. Give
Okay,
time to get
great.
the next show on.
Well, thank you, Harry. And again, hope to see you at our annual
Well-
meeting on the 26th and our Jingle and Mingle on December 11th.
You'll be back on the Thursday before Thanksgiving with the Shop Small.
We'll talk about Shop Small.
We're gonna have some guests here
Yeah.
with the Shop Small,
Yeah,
which is a great program. Let's support our local people.
yeah, yeah. Please do.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week on About the Valley.